it was 20 for Peyton Lewis in the third spot, and you saw Tennessee's offensive line be really good. So I don't know if Tennessee's offensive line will look as good as it did against Syracuse the rest of the way, but I feel really confident this Tennessee team is going to be able to run the football at a top 10, top 15 rate in the country despite losing Dylan Sampson over the offseason.
What do you think about the defense's performance? I thought they had a great showing, but they also suffered a few injuries. A couple of guys, of course, already Jamard McCoy wasn't available anyway. But where are you at on what you saw from the defense in that game?
Yeah, I think there were some things to like. I mean, you start at cornerback where you're talking about Jamard McCoy. His preseason All-American's out for the game, still rehabbing that torn ACL from January. Ricky Gibson suffers an injury in the second quarter, doesn't come back in. He's going to miss extended time. So you're talking about the top two corners on the team from a year ago, two of the kind of the linchpins of this defense now out for we'll see how long, but it's hard not to feel good about the guys that stepped up in their place. Colton Hood, the Colorado transfer, was fantastic, SEC Defensive Player of the Week. And then Ty Redmond, a true freshman who was, I believe, by rivals, the lowest-rated recruit in Tennessee's signing class, steps in at that other cornerback spot and plays really well. So it's hard not to feel good about those guys and what they were able to do at a spot of injury concern at this point in the season. But on the other side, I think defensive tackle is the other spot of injury concern. Tennessee came into this year. I was already worried about their depth at that spot. Really only had 3 players that had played any Division I football, and Davion Hobbs suffers an injury in fall camp. He's going to miss about the first month of the season. And Jackson Moy gets hurt on the third defensive snap of the game and at least won't play this week. We'll see how long that lingers. And, Tennessee had some guys step up. I thought Nathan Robinson played well. But you saw a guy like Bryson Eason play almost 20 more snaps than he played in a single game last year. You saw a strong side defensive end and Dominique Bailey have to slide inside and play defensive tackle. And you saw Syracuse run the ball, I think, better than I expected and better than really just about anybody ran the ball in Tennessee last year. So even with those injuries, I think there's some good for Tennessee in the defensive backfield, but I do think there's some concern on the defensive line and a defensive tackle, and certainly they'll be able to get by this week against ETSU, but Georgia here in 9 days will be able to test that.
When it comes down to Josh Heupel's offense, have you seen any kind of evolution or change in his philosophy from the Hendon Hooker days to now with what we saw on Sunday or last Saturday against Syracuse? Because it seems like he's really leaning and embracing the run game and maybe more tight ends being used in his offense a little bit more.
I think you've seen that, and some of it's been a slow movement in that direction. Like last year, you saw them run way more 12 personnel than they did really any of his first 3 seasons, but especially his first 2 seasons when they only very rarely did it in certain situations. And look, you just saw the way he coached his roster, I think, changed last year. Tennessee did not run much tempo. They played very conservatively offensively because they had a good defense and they had a lot of question marks and struggles on the offensive end of the field last season. So you saw the offense look a lot different, in part because they weren't as good, but in part because Josh Heupel knew they weren't as good, and he knew he had a defense that was a lot better, so he could play a little bit more conservatively. I think we saw the most change from what Tennessee did in Heupel's first 4 seasons to what they did on Saturday. There was some stuff we just frankly have never seen with some of the much less wide splits. We saw trips formations. We saw 12 personnel in much more unique, different ways, kind of using them as H-backs, not necessarily just lined up in normal tight end spots. We just saw formations that we had not seen Tennessee have ever in Josh Heupel's first 4 seasons. So that was something that in the very little bit of practice they let us watch, we saw a little bit of. And Joey Hall's lead offense coordinator talked about it some in the preseason. But for me, that was very much I'm going to need to see it to believe it. And, it wasn't just complete 180, but there were definitely a lot of differences in what Tennessee's offense looked like against Syracuse as opposed to the first 4 seasons under Josh Heupel.
We're talking all things Tennessee Volunteers football with Ryan Shumpert of Rocky Top Insider.
Yeah, Ryan, man, thanks for coming on. First and foremost, man, the talent level that Tennessee has recruited now under Heupel, I think this may be the most talented team he's had just on, I don't even know what the ratings are for all the recruiting services, but it just seems like it was upgraded. How did you feel when you saw them play? I know it was just a first game, but just the talent level that Tennessee and Heupel have recruited have been upgraded since the time he first got there.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you start for one with the blue chip ratio, the percentage of players on the team that are former 4 or 5 star recruits. I think every national champion since like 2008, has been above 50%. This is the first Josh Heupel team that's above 50%, and
Oh,
I think
gotcha.
you've seen that with. In a lot of ways, this is a young team, but it's a young and talented team, and I don't know that it necessarily will lead to being his best team, but I think when you maybe look back in 3 or 4 years and you look at what some of these young players end up doing in their time at Tennessee and beyond that, you might look back and saying, all right, just from a collection of talent standpoint, that the 25 team is the one that had at least been the most talented up until that point. They've continued to recruit well. They should continue to get more and more talented, I think, in the next couple of years. But you've seen that, and Josh Heupel and his staff have talked about it all fall camp, that they are going to lean on some of these young, talented guys a lot more than they have in the past, and that they don't really have time to be young. And again, they'll have a little bit of time to be young this weekend, but once the schedule gets going a little bit more full speed and you get into SEC play, those guys are going to have to step up and play like guys that have maybe a little bit more experience than they really do.
Outside of the quarterback, I guess who impressed you the most? And then I'll piggyback on that with who do you think will have a breakout season and play consistent throughout?
I think from who impressed me the most, I'll start on defense. Nathan Robinson's a defensive tackle who I harped on that a little bit a minute ago. Tennessee did not have many proven guys there. He got a little banged up and was a little in and out of the game, but he played really well when he was out there. He had the strip sack that kind of broke the game open there on the scoop and score late in the first quarter, and had a couple of their quarterback pressures and was pretty good in the run game. So he was a guy that I don't think I would necessarily saw a big game coming from, but played really well. And I would just say across the board on the offensive line, that was true as well. I would single out Jesse Perry, who's a Middle Tennessee Christian kid. He was supposed to start at right guard, but then David Sanders suffers an injury late last week and weren't sure if he was going to be able to play until game day, and Perry slid out to right tackle. So for a redshirt freshman making his first start and then doing it at a position that he wasn't predominantly working at in the preseason, I thought was really impressive. For breakout star, I think Braylon Staley is one that I'd point to, just with how unproven Tennessee was is a receiver. It felt like someone was going to just naturally take a step up because of the opportunities. And, I think Mike Matthews was the person that most people pointed to because he was a former 5-star recruit. And look, he still could have a really good year. But Staley has the long touchdown pass. He did some things in the screen game. He caught a couple passes in the intermediate, one on a third and long to move the sticks. And he also, for a slot receiver that's not the biggest guy, he really had a couple really impressive run blocks. So he's one that I leave game one being higher on and feeling like this is a guy that could be a breakout playmaker on Tennessee's offense this season.
One thing I would be, if I was a head coach, is conflicted with a game that you got coming up, ETSU, now, because what if you have some guys nicked up? Do you play them in this game, or do you sit Sanders again? So kind of take us through the health of the team and who do you think will play or not play?
I think it's different in different cases. Like for Sanders, as you mentioned, I think you play him because he's going to be your starting right tackle this season. You're going to want to play him in a week against Georgia. And look, who knows how much ETSU will really prepare him for playing Georgia, but I'd rather him at least have some in-game snaps in this offense than going in basically cold turkey against Georgia. When it comes to some of the other guys that are banged up, whether that be Jackson Moy, who we know is not going to play at defensive tackle, or Nathan Robinson, who I mentioned a minute ago, who's a little bit banged up at defensive tackle, I may be more willing not to play those guys and get other guys, younger guys, snaps and just make sure you're 100% healthy. So some of that is just what you have going in, needing to be conservative with things, but I also think Josh Heupel's teams have had a tendency to get up big early in these games, and with the lack of depth that they have at some spots, I would be pretty quick to get some of the starters out of the game, whether, maybe even in the second quarter, let alone getting into the second half.
All right, lastly, I don't think you broke down, kind of take us through Aguilar and kind of give us a grade, because he missed some gimmies early. It's just overshadowed by all the big plays that he made, which he looked solid, though. But you can't do or miss those plays against formidable opponents like in the SEC.
No doubt. Tendency to miss high on a lot of the stuff to the sideline, especially, which, to your point, was in the screen game. some of those things balls got caught, but he just wasn't giving them any chance to get yards after the catch. And that's a big part of Josh Heupel's offense is being able to spread the field and make teams defend horizontally. So he's got to be better in that. Joey Hall's lead offensive coordinator kind of downplayed that this week, but there were enough of those throws, and some of them were a little bit further, maybe more in the intermediate one to Mike Matthews early in the game that probably could have been caught. His receivers could have helped him out a little bit more, but overall, I'd probably give him a B+. He just seemed to have a good grasp of the offense and worked through his progressions well. Obviously hit the deep ball, but was better than I expected, maybe throwing some stuff in the intermediate, and better than I expected on a couple instances off script, which is something he didn't really show a ton at App State. So definitely more to like than dislike from Aguilar's debut, but certainly things he needs to get cleaned up if Tennessee's offense is going to reach its potential this fall.
Follows Rocky Top Insider, Ryan Shumpert.
Okay, Ryan, where's your confidence level in this team that maybe come, November, we're talking about a potential college football playoff team right now?
I think from that standpoint, it's pretty high, just in large part because of the schedule. Like it's crazy to say with an SEC team, but Tennessee plays 4 games against teams that I believe were picked in the bottom 5 of the conference. So there's just a lot of gettable games. Georgia, I think, is going to be a really tough one. We'll see how Alabama bounces back. Certainly that game in October looks more winnable. But you talk about it, they could even drop both of those games if they beat Mississippi State, if they beat Arkansas, if they beat Oklahoma at home. Tennessee should head to Gainesville the second to last week of the season with only 2 losses and a chance to win that game, and then they'd have to take care of Vanderbilt the next week to make the college football playoff. So just the way the schedule unfolds, they've lost some gimmies in the road, or games that you would have pointed to as gimmies on the road in the past, so you can't overlook them too much. But I feel like this team has a good chance in late October and November to still be there, ranked in the top 15, and have a chance to make the college football playoff again.
All right, so I have a question for you here. The Florida State obviously got moved up all the way from unranked to 14, whereas the Tennessee Volunteers only moved up a few spots. Don't you think that's a little outrageous between the two schools that UT, maybe Florida State's either ranked too high or UT's not ranked high enough? But that seems a little ridiculous.
Well, I think, Zach, it goes back to your point at the beginning. Week 1 can lie to you. It's hard to know what is what. And I think specifically on that point, it's hard to grasp that Florida State would jump Tennessee and Tennessee wouldn't jump Alabama, if that's the case. It feels like it kind of needed to be one of those things if you're going to have the radical movement. But no, that's the nature of it. You're going to see some major overreactions to Week 1 games. I think LSU might have already won the national championships from reading some stuff this week. So that's how it goes, and we'll see how things shake out over the next 12, 13 weeks of the season.
Okay, so I got 2 questions here. This will be our final. It's a 2-parter. Did you stay up and watch the Nico game? And what is making people happier in Knoxville? Are they more happy that Nico looks like crap, or more happy that Alabama looked like crap?
That's a good question on the latter. I stayed up for the first half.
Way to use my question from yesterday.
I stayed up for the first half of UCLA Utah, and then went to bed and woke up to use the bathroom in the middle of the night and checked my phone just to see what the final was and see what his final numbers were. And he played poorly in the first half, but man, it seemed like just from a number standpoint, he might have been a good bit worse in the second half. So, man, I lean Alabama. It is a tough one, though, because I do think almost the instant gratification that a lot of Tennessee fans had for Nico playing poorly, especially after Aguilar played well in his debut, was pretty high. But over the course of the season, if Alabama continues to struggle and Nico continues to struggle, it'll definitely be Alabama. But it's pretty crazy that a team in Southern California could have elicited that much anger and joy at them struggling compared to the amount of joy Tennessee fans had watching Alabama.
Ryan, I think you're saying the Nico is better, man. I think you are. You're leaning into it, man.
It's crazy. We wrote something on Nico's game, and it's crazy the amount of views it got and the amount of comments on different social medias. People were people were fired up about Nico struggling.
I guess if week one's a liar, what's the more likely lie? That Alabama is as bad as they were, or is Nico as bad as he was? Probably the biggest lie is Alabama. So maybe that's why you guys are latching on to the Nico thing, because maybe Nico will suffer more long term than Alabama will.
Yeah, I think that's a no doubter. And like, say what you will about Nico, like a lot of that's just what's around him. UCLA does not have a good football team around him. They are going to struggle this year. He is going to struggle this year. Alabama, you don't know. They could bounce back. I have a hard time thinking they're going to be the national title contender that a lot of people pegged them to be before the season, but they could turn it around and make the playoffs. That's still a possibility. And who knows, maybe Florida State really is a top 15 quality team, and you'll look back at the end of the year and say, all right, losing to Florida State wasn't the worst loss.
How many points will Tennessee win by this weekend?
Ooh.
Like 60. I mean,
How many of those are going to be Merklinger touchdowns?
What are they famous?
Jake Merklinger leads
line.
2 touchdown drives. Yeah, I mean that's there being no line is really telling.
Yeah.
And even FCS games in recent years there have been lines, but man, Josh Heupel coach teams have beaten the absolute crap out of these FCS teams and even bad Division I single A teams. So I think this one's going to be very, very one-sided. But I will say, man, ETSU, they have an interesting team. 53 newcomers with Coach Will Healy, 2 Division I starting quarterback transfers, and Cade McNamara from Iowa, and then Jacoby Griswold from North Carolina. So they have a really interesting situation. I don't think it's going to matter much this year, or this week. But I'm intrigued to see how the Bucs do the rest of the season.
All right, there you go. That's Ryan Shumpert of Rocky Top Insider talking all things Tennessee Volunteers football. We appreciate it, Ryan.
Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me on.
All right. Yeah. When we come back, we'll continue talking about the SEC. We'll also talk about we'll talk to Miles, who's on the phone, who wants to talk about the Volunteers in Georgia and Alabama. When we come back, this is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone. Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Doors. 615-737-1045 is the number. Later on in the show, we'll talk about these betting odds for Alabama's next head coach and how they can get out of it. Because there's a couple of these that would make me want to leave the country. That I would go become a fisherman.
True Alabama fan.
I just couldn't do it.
Nervous right now. You don't know what to do with yourself.
I would have to go become a fisherman in a small town in Ireland because I don't want to think about Alabama football if some of these guys got hired. Because
who do you guys have this week?
They got Louisiana Monroe.
Oh, that's right.
Remember, they got the 38.5 favorites.
Who's the top three on the list that they got?
I will talk about it later. That's a tease because we got to get to Miles, who's been waiting patiently.
Man.
Miles,
come on.
You're on with Blaine and Zach.
Hey, how are we?
Doing good, I guess.
Good. Hey, real quick. Yeah, right. Real quick. I'm sorry Alabama's lost last week, but remember, an elephant never forgets. I truly think that loss is going to haunt them all year. But Georgia, Tennessee, you guys kind of answered what your thoughts were on it, but Andy, my bookie, he's taking all bets on Tennessee, so if you know what I'm talking about, go ahead and take his money.
All right. I appreciate it, Miles.
You guys have a good day.
Hey, you too.
All right, you too.
But yeah, I mean, we have a little bit of time to get to the Georgia game, because that's next week. But I mean, sometimes you have these games, you don't want to overlook an opponent. You know what I'm saying? Like, because those trap games.
Do we know who Georgia places?
Georgia plays, and I can pull that up just real quick because I got the full schedule. They play Austin P. Austin P is coming to Athens.
I knew it was somebody. Yeah, because Austin P had that big win over MTSU.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Powerhouse Austin P.
Yeah. Watch out, Jeff Ferris, man. Jeff Ferris is a good coach.
So let's talk about this schedule just real quick. We have just a few. This is typically the week where there's a lot of pushover games, right? They kind of schedule some weak stuff. I mean, obviously, East Tennessee State, San Jose State, Utah State, Austin P.
Hey, man, come on, man. Quit talking about them schools, man. What they going to do? How they going to survive after this couple years, man? They're going to know programs.
Ole Miss at Kentucky. That's an SEC battle. That's a pretty good game. They usually, wasn't it last year Kentucky upset Ole Miss?
Yes, at Ole Miss, yeah.
Now they're coming to Kentucky. Talking about buyouts, Mark Stoops' buyout has to be paid within 60 days in full. So there is no spreading it out or payment plans or anything. His
like Alabama has with
Alabama's got a little bit of relief.
They were a little smarter in how they do that.
Yeah. So, but Ole Miss at Kentucky. Ole Miss currently ranked 20. Kentucky obviously unranked. Toledo's pretty good. I mean, I'm not going to just totally discount that Kentucky barely beat Toledo.
That's what the score looked like.
Yeah, barely beat Toledo. But, Toledo is a kind of a pretty good defense year in and year out. But you would hope that Kentucky would have beaten the brakes off of them to prove that they are kind of trending in the right direction. Do you see what Lane Kiffin said about their quarterback? He's like, Zach Calzada, he's got like 10,000 passing yards, but he's been here for 10 years, been playing for college football for 10 years. Took a shot right at the quarterback for being, because, Zach Calzada has been in the NCAA for forever. But he's basically saying, he only throws for like 1,000 yards a year.
Oh.
No, not for Kentucky. He's been all around. So, he kind of took a coach taking a shot at a player like that.
Well, I'm not surprised that who was coming from. Though.
Yeah, that's true. Ole Miss at Kentucky, you smell an upset at all, or you're just like, Ole Miss going to roll them?
I'm going Ole Miss. Who's favored?
Ole Miss is favored.
But by how much?
Let's pull it up.
It's a road game, so you got to take that into account. But Ole Miss probably better team. I haven't watched a lot of tape on either one of them, but
9.5. Ole Miss is favored by 9.5
on the road.
On the road.
Yeah, I'm going Ole Miss.
There you go.
I'm not even a betting man like yourself.
There you go. Another interesting one is Kansas at Missouri. I mean, Kansas, I kind of look at this game as like, this may tell you a little bit more about this Missouri team.
Mm-hmm.
The Missouri is favored 6.5. Now, Kansas has played 2 games already. Remember, one of them was the week 0 game.
Oh.
And they're 2-0 right now.
Quality opponent? Any quality opponent?
With Kansas right there, they played Fresno State and Wagner. Now they they won those games 31-7 against Fresno State, 46-7 against Wagner.
Yeah, Wagner. No.
So yeah, I mean they took care of business.
They did.
Right. They have Jalen Daniels, who's thrown already 7 touchdowns and 1 interception in these 2 games.
Yeah, who's the head coach there? He's done a good job at Kansas, kind of putting them back together. And they've been very competitive and had some really good players over the last couple of years, too, to come out of there. Man, as the coach, he was somewhere else first.
Lance Leipold.
Yeah, Leipold. Yeah, he's done a pretty good job there as their head coach. I think this is going to be tougher, but Missouri should win. But, if they have some, turnover issues, I wouldn't be stunned.
Yeah, Missouri coming off a 61-6 victory over Central Arkansas, but that's a game to watch. I mean, in a lot of powder puff games, this is a game that could give Missouri a little bit of fits here. Then you have Arizona State at Mississippi State. So a West Coast team coming all the way down to Mississippi State to the Cowbells, hostile environment. Now listen, Mississippi State still don't know what this team actually is. At least at the SEC, but this is a good test for a team because this is the 12th ranked Arizona State team with some legit NFL prospects on there.
I love that quarterback.
So if Sam Leavitt and
quarterback,
the quarterback for Arizona State, and what is that wide receiver's name? I'm blanking on the wide receiver's name. James.
What is it? I don't remember. But
Help me out here, Ross.
I'm thinking about all of last year in the playoffs because, boy, they showed me a lot.
Oh, man. Well, who's that wide receiver's name? But either way, they have a legit, maybe even best overall wide receiver at Arizona State that could be available in the draft. I just cannot remember.
Jordan Potential Titan?
Yes. Say it again.
Jordan Tyson.
Jordan Tyson.
There
you go.
Oh.
So Arizona and Mississippi State will be a good game. Michigan at Oklahoma is going to be a fun game. Dang. And what sucks is that Michigan, who their linebacker, Barham, who had a bogus targeting call on him, he's missing the first half of this Oklahoma game. And that could really change the whole dynamic of this game because Barham was on fire in that game.
Wait, let's stop.
Yeah.
You said bogus targeting.
Oh, it was such a bogus targeting call.
How could it be bogus? What happened?
Because he wasn't targeting. It wasn't even clear. What? So he was going to sack the quarterback, and he's a way taller human than the quarterback. And he just did he did a legit sack, and they touched heads, and that was it. That was a targeting call. Got ejected.
So did he hit him from the side? And
it was actually a very gentle sack for the most part. As far as he didn't fall on him on the ground and do anything like crazy like that. It was just a normal looking sack, normal speed, normal strength, just a normal looking sack. And because the helmets touched, they did a targeting.
And there
call.
was no way for him to slide to the left or to the right.
I don't think so in the moment. I will say this. Targeting calls usually come with, there's one side that thinks it's targeting, there's one side that doesn't think it's targeting. This was the first universal, at least by all analysts on Twitter that I saw, that said that was a bogus targeting call. And that's usually not the case on Twitter. Usually you can't agree on anything.
Right.
But yeah.
Oh, I want to go watch this play. What do you got, Ross?
With the game with Michigan, Oklahoma, I won't ask you all for who you think will win, but which quarterback do you think will have a better game? Mateer, the veteran at Oklahoma, or do you think freshman Bryce Underwood in his second ever game will turn some heads?
He'll turn heads, but it's going to be Mateer because I'll say this. Now, listen, they're both kind of like Bryce Underwood's almost like young John Mateer right now. But John Mateer, I think, is going to have the better game. But I think this is going to be a game where people are watching and they're going to walk away saying, okay, Michigan's got them one. Because that's how I felt last week. And he's just a raw quarterback, but I think they got him.
You see that block he threw?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But, yeah, Oklahoma only favored by 4.5. But this is a good statement game and test for Oklahoma as well. At home.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
There you go. Finally, just the one game to put on your radar. Vanderbilt at Virginia Tech. Traveling
I like
to
this.
Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech gave South Carolina all they could handle for most of that game. This will be a good test. Again, these are games that are tests for your SEC teams. You're just not sure what they are yet. So all these are good. So Virginia Tech,
Vandy got them last year at home, so they going to want a little bit of revenge.
Yep. Virginia Tech at home is favored by 1.5.
Is it a night kick?
It is a 6:30 p.m. night kick on the
different type of
ACC
atmosphere.
network.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah,
call
so
that, Ross. That's
may want to
right.
be going on that 1.5.
Ooh, Vandy got to have on all black.
Yeah,
The gold helmets with the V.
that will do it for a little SEC preview. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about the Tennessee Titans as cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 105 The Zone.
Nope. Blaine Bishop here. Look, we talk all day about training, recovering, staying in shape, but no one wants to talk about what happens when things start to slip. You know where. In the bedroom. The truth is, ED is more common than you think, and it's nothing to be embarrassed about. And at Edge Peptide Therapy, they're helping men get real, long-term solutions that don't just treat symptoms, they fix the problem. Their therapies are built around your body using science-backed peptides and hormone optimization to restore blood flow, increase sensitivity, and boost performance. And even if things are working, they can help take your sex life to the next level. You know what I'm talking about. So check them out at edgepeptide.com. Yes, that's edgepeptide.com, or you can give them a call today at 615-724-1878. That's 724-1878.
Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Door. 615-737-1045 is the number. Coming up later on in the show, we'll give you a few of our NFL, awards picks, but we're going to really give you our Tennessee Titans award picks, and that's more important because your team's likely not going to be featured at any of the NFL awards except for maybe Offensive Rookie of the Year. So we need to get some awards out for the home team.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Yeah.
No doubt.
But something that will affect the Tennessee Titans and will affect all 32 NFL teams are the new rule changes that are going to be premiering. They obviously were there in the preseason, but you may need to update yourself on these rules. Because again, the NFL has decided that, hey, we're going to mess with the kickoff rule again. And touchbacks are now going to be moved to the 35-yard line.
Anything to help out the offense.
Anything. So after seeing the data from last year, because they thought that last year, well, if we put the touchback at the 30 and we got these new rules, we should see returns skyrocket. And I was like, that doesn't make any sense because if I'm another team, I'm just kicking it in the end zone as all I can because I'd rather you take it at the 30 than risk anything else. And they made the rules permanent. However, the league-wide return rate of 32.8% was still the league's lowest since at least 2000. And the touchback rate of 64.3% was the league's highest over the same period. So it had the opposite effect last year, which is wild.
Yeah. Shows how much they know. They don't know how smart some of these coaches are with these kickers.
So this spring, they decided to not only make the zones and all this the same, they decided to do move the touchback from the 30-yard line to the 35. In theory, which is, as they thought last year, is not always going to be reality. In theory, that shift will further incentivize the kicking team to put the ball in play. And here's why, is how they at least view it, is that it is, oh man, where's that? Oh, if you begun at the 30-yard line, the past 10 seasons, you averaged 1.97 points on those possessions that began on the 30-yard line. So every possession that began there. When the drives began at the 35-yard line, that point average jumped to 2.21. That's a 12% increase in scoring. So what they're hoping is that you never get to the 35 because that increases your chances of scoring and will stop you maybe at the 30. So there you go. I mean, they're basically just putting the players in more harm's way to get more kickoffs returned, but it's going to be the same result. They'll likely end up at the 30. So
Well,
make it make sense to me, I guess.
Stats say that. You just never know.
Yeah.
I think what they were trying to say there, 30 to 35, you have a more, better shot of scoring. I think they're trying to increase scoring and big plays. That's always a talk because, naturally that's what sells the tickets is offense and scoring. So they want to see some more impactful plays in special teams, even though they're saying that they're trying to still protect the players. With that stat there, that tells you, no, not really. Just like they're going to increase to 18 and then to 20 games.
Yeah.
It's just, no way around it. So they're trying to make it as safe as possible at the end of the day. I think guys are going to try to return, and I think strategy is going to be to kick it sharp where you have to return.
Well, that's what they want, right? Because the average drive last year began at the 28.8 yard line. So you're more willing to do a touchback last year for 1.2 yards, right? You don't have to put anybody in harm's way. You just do a touchback. It goes to the 30. No skin off your back, right? Well, now you're probably not going to give up nearly 7 yards to do a touchback now. Now you're probably going to force the other team to have to get to the 35 at this point. And so it does incentivize them to put the ball in play.
So what do you think the Titans are going to do on the opening kickoff when they kick off? If they kick off. See,
that's a good
they
question.
imply what we just learned here. Like, what would be your strategy? I don't even know who the returners are for the Broncos.
Probably Marcus Mims, I believe, is one of them.
Marvin
Mims, not Marcus Mims. Marvin Mims, and probably Troy Franklin. Do you think is he the other one?
The other receiver? I don't know. It seems like they usually have someone a little thicker also back there, like a running back. But
Let's see. I'll pull up their depth chart real quick.
Idea, but
Marvin Mims and Jaleel McLaughlin, running back.
Running back, yeah. Typically, usually running backs are more fit for kick return because of the build, and then thinner guys, more receiver type.
Does it put your strategy at pause in any way when you're talking about this? If I told you that the Denver Broncos special teams coordinator Darren Rizzi was the one who came up with this idea? Does that change anything for you?
No, because I don't think the league is implementing it to help him. I think it was just his idea.
Right.
But
he designed it.
Right. Okay. So him designing it, what do you think he was trying to get out of it?
They play at altitude so they could start at the 35?
Right. The altitude and 35, and they start on the 35. Or was he saying, I got a good kick returner. I want to be able
That's
to
where
kick
I'm
the
wondering.
ball. Return, because I think the way it's set up now with guys lined up at a certain distance, we can find some gaps.
He's probably saying, I benefit more either way. You give us at the 35-yard line, that's fine. But I really hope you kick it to Marvin Mims, because I think Marvin Mims can take it the distance.
Right. And mind you, a great point about the altitude and everything else, but they only play 9 at home or 8 a game.
Yeah.
But still, they're still going to have the elements part of it in a regular stadium like the Titans. That's kind of interesting there.
Because I just want to say, Marvin Mims.
I just think coincidentally they liked his idea.
I will say this: Marvin Mims does have a touchdown off a kickoff return last year.
See? Yeah.
I think if you're the Titans on Sunday and this
or
is
2023, sorry, not last year.
It's going to be weird for fans because I feel like every fan is going to watch every special team snap a little more deeply just because of how last season went. And this is much easier said than done, but I find it hard to think that letting Denver start at the 35 every time, is a good idea. I would try to hang that thing up a little more and get some good distance on it still, but let them return it and hopefully stop them before the 35.
I said what my strategy would be: hang time, try to pin them in the corner, and then now you've eliminated all the different things that you have to cover as a kickoff, and you kind of pin them in that corner, just like a punt. That's how I would strategically be on kickoff. And that's not to say it's going to work every time, but that is what you want to do.
Because you do risk going out of bounds.
Right.
So you got to make sure.
So you get it like 10 yards away. These guys, kickers, they like golfers. They can put it exactly where they want to, and they're going to have to catch it. It's not going to be, it's close to the sideline. No, you're pinning them as a group. Like you want to kick it, aim it right at the numbers. Where it's like, should I get it? And I did. Well, if it bounces, it may bounce back into me. May roll in, and they can get down there and down. I don't know. No, you got to return it.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting because Foss, he's one of the best special team coaches, so it'd be interesting to see what he thinks.
Yeah, so, again, don't know really, how this will work. We'll see if it actually goes into any kind of situation. Just real quick.
Strategy, yeah.
Yeah, the replay officials now have a little bit more power to maybe call some penalties and stuff. The replay official may provide information regarding the correct application of the playing rules, advise, consult with, or assist the on-field officials on specific aspects of a play when clear and obvious video evidence is present, and or address game administration issues, including but not limited to penalty enforcement, the proper down, timing or spot of a foul, the game clock, possession, completed, intercepted, or the direction of any pass, touching of a loose ball, boundary line, goal line, or end line, location of the football or a player in relation to a line or in the pocket area, down by contact. If a foul is called for roughing the passer based only on a hit to the passer's head or neck area, and there's clear and obvious video evidence that the defender did not make any contact with the passer's head or neck area, intentional grounding, and there is clear and obvious video evidence that the passer was out of the pocket area, and unnecessary roughness based only on forcibly contacting a runner when he is out of bounds. There's clear and obvious video evidence that the runner was not out of bounds. So they've included now horse collar tackles, tripping, roughing or running into the kicker, forcibly hitting a defensive player's head or neck area, also within that. So they are going to be able to kind of look at these different plays now, and if a foul is called, see, that's the key. Because here's the big thing. Replay officials cannot call for a flag to be thrown if the on-field officials didn't. throw the flag, even if there is clear video evidence that one should have been.
And that's what's going to piss people off right there.
There it is.
And can you challenge the call and say, but this happened?
Right.
You know what I sneaky think the most interesting new rule change could be this year, potentially? I'm seeing that they are enforcing, if a team is out of timeouts and they try to call one, they're doing delay of game. Oftentimes that happens in like 2-minute situations, when you think you got one, you're kind of panicking, you try to burn one, you don't. Well, that could cause some teams to lose some games if they try to call a timeout they don't have and get a penalty off of that.
Yeah.
Is that a 15-yarder?
It is a delay of game penalty.
Oh,
wouldn't there be a 10-second runoff too after that?
And lost it down? No.
It may. I'll have to check all that.
Maybe if you have the ball.
But it just says right here, it just says the NFL rule book now calls for a delay of game penalty anytime a team requests an ineligible timeout, not just when an official inadvertently grants one. So it's not going, quote, this is from referee Brad Allen, it's not going to be one of those, yeah, I heard you, but ignored you this time, but another time we didn't ignore it. So be real interesting. Obviously, tush push still legal. Virtual measurement's going to be used with 8K Hawkeye cameras. Then, of course, we got all these sportsmanship rules, so you might as well just not even celebrate anymore.
What?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, they're getting rid of almost all kind of sportsmanship celebrations.
I thought they embraced that.
Not anymore.
No.
Now, listen, they're saying that it's any violent gesture which shall include but not be limited to a throat slash, simulating firing or brandishing a gun.
So I think they're going to let them
nose
celebrate.
wipe gesture. They are, but I mean, they're moving towards like.
Well, I think they're talking about certain, like the gun gesture. They don't want stuff like that.
Humping the field anymore.
They don't want something crazy. Yeah, that's it. I think they're still going to kind of let them celebrate.
I
do
guess.
Something fun.
I mean, they are, but I'm just saying, like some of this stuff that they're. How ticky-tacky is it going to end up being? Because, I mean, the player may do something that these referees who are all old heads may not recognize as not falling under one of these things.
Some of these dances that they do in the videos or something.
The finger gun one is so tacky. I get if someone's doing like a bazooka, but I saw Alan Lazard do this on the Jets last year, a little finger gun, pew-pew, penalty. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah. They go get man. You representing the brand, man.
It could just be Nerf guns.
Blaine, I think Zach would hump the field if he scored a touchdown.
I definitely would. In the NFL, I'd definitely hump that field, no doubt.
What was that guy in the Mississippi State, or was it Auburn when he did the piss thing?
Yeah, that was the Egg Bowl.
Egg Bowl.
Yeah,
Elijah Moore, right?
Yeah, it was Elijah Moore, right?
Or
was it?
Yeah, I think it
was.
Oh, that was hilarious.
Yeah, there you go. All right, when we come back, we're going to give you our Titans and NFL offseason award predictions. We're just going to run through the NFL ones, but we're going to go deep into the Titans ones because that's what matters. This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 105 The Zone. Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 105 The Zone, powered by all four Seasons Garage Doors. 615-737-1045 is the number. All right, we got Mojo Rojo behind the glass. He decided to show up for work today, so really appreciate that.
He throwing strays around here, man. Watch
don't
out,
make me
man.
get you.
Leg whip you.
So we're going to go around. We're going to do a rapid fire of just the NFL MVPs and all that kind of stuff. Because, I mean, me and Ross did work really hard to get our list together and everything. So we just want to throw it together real quick.
Research yet, so if I'm
That's
not
all right.
if I'm not rapid fire, just think for a second.
If you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. But we just going to throw ours out there.
Okay.
And then we're going to switch it, though, and go in depth and talk about the Tennessee Titans one.
Okay.
So just real quick, I got MVP Joe Burrow. Wait, Ross?
I went Justin Herbert.
Justin Herbert. I said Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert.
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen. So you're going Josh Allen back to back. I like it.
Back to back.
He got MVP last year.
Oh yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, you got to win it at some point.
Offensive Player of the
I don't
Year.
remember who I said last year.
I think Lamar Jackson maybe.
Oh, I did.
But nothing you make on Joe Burrow last year. Offensive Player of the Year, Brock Bowers. I'm going out on a limb
Offensive Player of the Year.
Offensive Player of the Year, Brock Bowers is going to set some records this year for a tight end. He already set one for rookie tight ends.
So it can't be a quarterback? I mean, kind of give us the rules.
It could be anybody. It's Offensive Player of the Year. It could be anybody you want.
Offensive Player of the Year.
It's usually the guy that's not the MVP that probably should be MVP.
Right.
I went Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase.
Saquon Barkley.
I like it.
Back to back again.
There we go. Defensive Player of the Year, Jared Verse, Rams defensive end. I think that he's going to have a really big year this year for the Rams. So I'm going Jared Verse as Defensive Player of the Year.
Who won it last year?
It was Patrick Surtain.
Patrick Surtain. Yeah.
Yeah.
I went TJ Watt.
TJ Watt.
TJ Watt.
Yeah. Well, that one's a bad one. Sorry, Ross.
Dang, I still want to stick with, man. Oh, this was I don't know. Who's your second choice?
Ooh.
I would have taken Myles Garrett second, probably.
Micah Parsons would be my second one. But I wanted it to be a little bit different.
I wanted to go with a secondary guy.
Yeah.
But
I looked up.
They very rarely do the secondary guy. Yeah.
Christian Gonzalez.
I was trying to think of a safety.
Yeah.
That's on that, there's the good ones, but they're not that. So I go Myles Garrett.
There you go. Offensive Rookie of the Year, I went Cam Ward. I mean, I just think it's a quarterback award pretty much, and he's probably a shoe-in Rookie of the Year wise because he's the only rookie starting. So
I would really go Cam. I figured y'all would both say that, so I just went Ted McMillan for the Panthers.
That's one's out of left field.
Oh, well, yeah, you said Cam, so I'm going to go Genty
Yeah.
for the Raiders.
All right, Defensive Rookie of the Year, I went with Mike Green with the Baltimore Ravens because I think that Baltimore Ravens defense and, sacks are what matters. See, over at the Giants, a lot of mouths to feed when it comes to sacks. I feel like Mike Green may get a lot of sacks.
What defensive rookies were drafted high? What's
Abdul Carter, Donovan Ezeraku, a lot of quarterbacks.
I went with Mykel Williams, who was 12th to the 49ers.
So he went Mykel Williams, the Georgia defensive end / outside linebacker. Jalen Walker would have been a good one from the Falcons, I was kind of thinking.
I'm going to go Abdul Carter.
Abdul Carter. All right, Comeback Player of the Year, I'm going to Aiden Hutchinson.
I went with Aaron Rodgers.
Oh. Dang. Ooh. May had to come back on that one.
Okay. Coach of the Year, Matt LaFleur, who has never won Coach of the Year. I feel like with Micah Parsons' additions, they're going to win a lot of games. He's going to be in the spotlight, plays for a legacy team. I'm going Coach of the Year, Matt LaFleur. What you got?
Mine was kind of synonymous with my MVP pick, but I went Jim Harbaugh.
Because you Justin Herbert and everything, which would make sense because we're lining up pretty close on some of these other things.
I'm going with Sean McDermott.
Oh, I had Sean McDermott
That's
down
a good
first.
One. Yep.
Because I saw that he's never won it either. And I had that one down, but I went Matt LaFleur instead.
I got my comeback player of the year.
Let's do it.
I am pumped up about this.
Let's do it.
You guys are going to love this pick because it's coming out of left field. Ladarius Sneed.
There it is. I like it. Hey, he plays all 17 games. You never know.
Oh, man.
And listen, Lloyd Cushenberry's kind of a sneaky one for that list as well.
Yeah, no doubt.
protector of the year, offensive lineman of the year, I just went with Lane Johnson. He's considered probably the best offensive lineman. So
I went Lane Johnson as well.
yeah, so I think we can
no, watch this. I'm going J.C. Latham.
There you go, J.C. Latham, protector
I
of the
like
year.
his potential upside. He's going to make the Pro Bowl.
Super Bowl matchup. I looked at the colors of the logo for the Super Bowl.
Which, by the way, is the entire rainbow.
It is, but there's two predominant colors.
Where is the Super Bowl?
Super Bowl,
San Francisco.
San Francisco.
San Francisco, okay.
Okay. I went Los Angeles Chargers versus Green Bay Packers, and the Green Bay Packers are going to win the Super Bowl this year. So that's where I'm at right there. What do you got?
For all of you listening out there, if you're able to look up a picture of the logo, it is the rainbow. So Zach's color theory is wrong.
No, it is not wrong because it's predominantly blue, the colors of the Chargers, with the yellow that they kind of share with the Packers, and the green. That is what it's predominantly. So I'm going with those.
I went with the Baltimore Ravens beating the Green Bay Packers.
There you go. You made Big Boss Burt very happy with that.
I'm going Buffalo versus Green Bay, and Buffalo finally gets over the snide
There you go.
with my
we all the
man
Packers?
Josh Allen.
We all had the Packers, so there you go. That means the Packers are not making it to the Super Bowl because we're all unanimously picking it.
No doubt.
They're not going to make it. All right. But the Tennessee Titans, this is where it matters. And we may have some differences on this, but let's start. You know what? We're going to work our way backwards.
Okay.
Let's start. Do we want to do comeback player of the year?
We can.
Okay, I got Lloyd Cushenberry as comeback player
Well,
of
I
the
already
year.
said Snead.
You
so-
said Snead.
I'll go Kush.
Okay.
Go Kush. Okay.
I mean, Snead is a good one. I just don't know if he's going to be able to play
Right, the odds are
all
against
17
Snead,
games. Yeah. See, I would say Cushenberry probably has better odds than
shot.
Snead.
No doubt. No doubt.
Defensive Rookie of the Year. I'm going to start with you, Blaine, on this. Who
Defensive
do you
Rookie
got?
of the Year?
Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Cedric Gray.
So he's a second year
Oh,
player.
that's right. Oh, no. Well, this is the first time, so
Okay.
I'm going with Cedric Gray.
Okay. I like it.
I'm just going to assume he's healthy and plays a decent bit. I'm going to go Kevin Winston.
That's where I landed, was Kevin Winston Jr. I would have ranked him Kevin Winston Jr., Marcus Harris, then Femi
Yes,
Oladejo.
yeah.
So
is how I would
defensive rookie of the year.
Yeah,
is,
I would have done Kevin Winston.
a guy who hasn't played it at all in the preseason.
Well, no, but he's a rookie. But I mean, you gotta project. You just gotta project.
Cedric
He's
Gray
not gonna be
started
the
the
starter.
game last year.
Yeah, but I mean, I think when he's on the field,
But I don't know.
he's gonna look pretty good.
Yeah, I'm making some really.
Got to.
I go just on the flyer.
Listen, you got to listen. Femi Oladejo would have the better odds, but if I'm going for the value play, I'm going to make a little bit of money and risk it for the biscuit on.
Keep picking
Kevin Winston Jr.
those injured players.
Hey, that number 23 at safety does
Oh,
something
he's
for
going to
you.
be hard eventually, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying I want to see him stay healthy.
Now, offensive.
And by the way, he
rookie-
was out with hamstring.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying that, because whenever you have a major injury, Achilles, knee, whatever it is, other things start breaking down. And this is the beginning sign of that is hamstring. See, so that makes me really nervous. I don't understand. Why don't they understand? I think they do. They didn't play
I
him.
think they understand it.
But I mean, man, that's the trickle down. No, here's what I'm talking about. Why are you drafting a guy with a serious injury? See, that is what I'm referring to, because you know that process has happened. And guess what? The likelihood that it's going to go right more than it's going to go wrong is not. So why would you even take that risk? I wouldn't do it. Not on a rebuilding time. No, we need to see guys out here playing now.
So I know we've got awards to get to, but we got a whole nother segment. But you just said something that I want to propose to you. Another way of looking at it. That maybe because it is a rebuilding year, you can open yourself up to
But
more
then you
risk.
don't play them.
Okay.
Then you don't play 'em.
Gotcha. I just had wondered because I mean, I was
That's
just
a good
thinking
point. No doubt.
maybe it's a rebuild year. Maybe they feel like they could take the risk because it is considered a value play in the third round if you're probably likely looking at your big board. And I will say this. I have this is just my feelings on it, is that I think if Isaac TeSlaa had been available, I don't think Kevin Winston Jr. would have been a Tennessee Titan in the third round at least.
Yeah,
I think they would have drafted Isaac TeSlaa.
I
over
love the
Kevin
pick.
Winston.
It's just I wouldn't have not coming off an injury.
Yeah.
Not ACL.
Yeah.
I know people come back, but you're going to have to go through some lumps. No, I don't want to do that.
I know the injury's tough, but I will like watching his tape, even in the limited games he had last year. He first rounder.
Well,
He's
yeah,
healthy
he was
easily.
first round talent.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. He only played actually one game. The year before, though, I watched every single game. Boy, he is a wrecker. He is a.
It was definitely one of those like
if he's not a Pro Bowl player, but man, where we're at and with all the history of the injuries over the last 3 years, that would have garnered me to being like him. And so they may be saying like you, oh, well, he's a first-round talent. Like you just said, we got him in the third round. It's great. Guess what? You can get by with average safeties in the National Football.
That's true.
Guess what? But unless you think you got a superstar player, which he could potentially be with his talent, but coming off an ACL. Tough.
Well, you can also tell that they've kind of, added a lot to the safety room, right? They're keeping 5 safeties, so maybe they're just going to ease them back in. So we'll see. Maybe I don't know.
I think he's more of a dime guy that's coming in to guard the tight ends. I think that's the dude.
All right. Offensive Rookie of the Year, non-Cam Ward edition. Because everybody could choose the quarterback offensive rookie of the year. So, offensive rookie of the year, non-Cam Ward edition. I went with Gunnar Helm because I think that he's going to provide a little bit more diversity. He's going to be involved in the blocking. He's going to be involved down the seams. We know that Cam Ward kind of likes to target the seams. He really liked Elijah Arroyo in Miami. I'm going Gunnar Helm as offensive rookie of the year, non-Cam Ward edition.
Well, what are your options? Alec,
DK, Khalil Mullins. Yeah. And listen, if you want to go crazy, you can go Xavier Restrepo and project that he's going to make the team somehow, and he's going to be offensive rookie of the year.
Well, now that you mentioned, no, I'm just playing. I'd go Gunnar Helm as well.
Yeah.
Who'd he go with?
He went Gunnar Helm too.
Oh. I'm just going to go Cam Ward then.
It's non-Cam Ward edition.
I'm doing Cam Ward.
All right.
Well, okay. Well, then I have to go with Alec man.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's starting, so obviously I'm thinking that he's got a shot of having a decent season. So, yeah. Alec.
All right. Defensive Player of the Year.
Ooh.
I'm going out of the box on this. And basically I'm having to retract what I said about this player in the off season.
See, this is why you do radio and not be coach, because you could be wrong and then everybody snap at you, but you do radio. I made a judge call.
I'm just saying, listen, people already snapped at me over this. I'm going Cody Barton, Defensive Player of the Year. I think that he has looked tremendous in preseason. I think he's looked tremendous in the offseason.
Oh, my.
I'd said.
After I told you this guy looks good.
You did. You were right. You were right. Because my initial reaction when the signing happened is that you just got more expensive Jack Gibbons, and I couldn't have been more wrong. And I'm gonna go full reverse, a full 180.
Eat your words.
Cody Barton, Defensive Player of the Year for the Tennessee Titans.
Oh, my. What you got there, Ross?
Well, I was gonna have the same one, but I don't want to copy Zach twice.
Oh my!
So I'll go with the sleeper. I'm gonna go with Roger McCreary in a contract year. I think he'll play his role very well in the nickel and be good in the pass game and the run game.
Yeah. Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm about to get y'all with this. I don't even know how much he'll play this game. I'm going. Give me some of that sweat. I want some sweat.
Yeah.
I want. Yeah. Yes, I want sweat. I think he has a lot of upside. I'm just nervous that he hadn't practiced, conditioning, just all those things, especially a big guy in the trenches. But I think his upside is really good.
I like that one. I mean, I almost went sweat too, but I was like, you know what? I need to give Cody Barton some love.
None of us picked Jeff. Watch Jeff have 3 sacks week 1.
Well, hopefully he gets more the rest of the weeks, too, to go with that 3. Okay, Offensive Player of the Year. So we did our offensive rookies, Offensive Player of the Year. I'm going J.C. Latham because I know you had him as your protector of the year in the NFL.
Yeah.
I'm going to go J.C. Latham. I think J.C. Latham is going to be the best offensive lineman on this offensive line, and I think that's so critical for this team that means to me, that is more important than any of the wide receivers, any of the running backs, tight ends. I think that he is going to be Offensive Player of the Year.
You got.
Do we still have MVP after this?
We still do.
I'm going to go Tony Pollard, Offensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, I was real close. but I'm not going to go with Pollard. I want to be different than you guys. And that means that I'm going to be wrong. And that means bring down Calvin Ridley.
I like it. I like it. All right. Last one. Most valuable player. Now, when we talked about this, I was kind of like, well, just everybody's going to choose Cam Ward. And Blaine was like, nah, I'm not. And I said, okay. I said, I like it. That means, but I'm choosing Cam Ward because this season lives and dies by Cam Ward. So he's the most valuable player on this team. And here's why. You know why he's the most valuable? Because unlike almost all these other positions, he doesn't have an NFL quality quarterback behind him. So he is the most valuable to this team. The most valuable player, Cam Ward. What you got, Ross?
I want it's so easy to go Cam, but I'm not going to. For sake of doing something different, I'm going to go with the wide receiver in me, Blaine, and I'm taking Mr. Calvin Ridley as our MVP for 2025. Double-digit tutties.
Oh, double-digit touchdowns. I like it. Even threw a prediction
man.
in
We
there.
got to see how they can throw some touchdowns to him in the red zone. I don't know, man. He kind of short.
Routes, though. The routes.
Just kidding. Hey, this is just my nature. But, man, being a defensive player, you can't win without defense. So I'm going with you-know-who. Big Jeff.
There it is.
Slim and trim, Big Jeff. They better watch out. I think this may be his best season yet.
They need it. That defense needs Big Jeff to step up in a big way. So I like it. So there you go. Yeah. We'll see how those shape out as the season goes along. When we come back, I'm going to give some University of Tennessee volunteers something to be happy about, because we're going to talk about how Alabama can get out of their coach's contract and who could be Alabama's next head coach. And because they'll laugh about it. They're just going to laugh at it because we're going through the same thing they did. These are our Butch Jones and Derek Dooley era.
They're going through this after one game?
Yep, after one game. This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 105 The Zone. Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 105 The Zone, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Doors. 615-737-1045 is the number. And just real quick, because I know University of Tennessee fans love to enjoy in the misery of Alabama fans.
Yourself included.
Yeah, I am a miserable Alabama fan right now. But
It's okay.
Apparently, according to On3, Andy Staples, so we know it's a $70 million buyout right now. At the end of the season, it's roughly $60 million. But that could be paid out in monthly installments of roughly $835K a year month from now, or from 2026, January 2026, all the way December 2031. Okay, so that's not too bad to have to get out. You can handle that kind of accounting, right? Like if you're a school like Alabama, you can handle that kind of accounting.
But they're saying they're poor.
Well, they are poor. Help me,
say that?
Help me, I'm poor. So there's ways to get out of this, which sounds a lot better than what it was like because I did. As soon as that game was over for Florida State, I don't even know if I waited till the game was over. I was like, what's his buyout?
Oh, my gosh. You can't be an emotional reactor.
It's just like, at least I have them. Listen, the fans are showing more emotions than the players. They didn't show any emotions on that field. They looked like, was that the Zombieland dance? They looked like actual zombies.
That is a problem.
I mean, it was ridiculous. So, like, when I saw the $70 million pop up, I was like, oh, crap. They're stuck with him for forever.
Oh, man.
But then I was thinking, well, $833K ain't that bad for, 6 years, whatever it be. I mean, that's a pretty good living for Kalen DeBoer, right? Like,
yeah, that's on that Ross money right there, man.
Because your question is always when I say, like, maybe this guy should get fired, maybe this guy, he may be on the hot seat. Your question always is, who you're going to
get? Who can you get?
Who can you get that's better? Well, I'll tell you, of course, nobody wasted any time. There are odds out for Alabama's next head coach, which, by the way, if you're Kalen DeBoer, and I'm sure this has been brought to your attention, if you don't come out with some passion over the next 10 weeks, that's on you. Because, like, this should be lighting a fire under your ass, right? I mean, like, at some point, show some fire. The West Coast attitude ain't going to work.
Well, wait a minute now. Well, why do you have to show fire when he knows he gets the money regardless?
No, but isn't he going to want another job?
See how y'all don't look at
or
the
is he going to want to go to Butch Jones and go to Central Arkansas or whatever?
He don't need to get another job.
But they all want to get another job.
Well, they do, but he could just go be the, quality assistant, and, just hang out there, chilling out, relax, and stay in the game. Yeah, I may still want to coach. Maybe not only if you're going to hire me as a head coach and guarantee my 5 years.
But here's the thing. This could cause me to move out of the country, like I said. Become a fisherman, in Ireland.
Move out of the country?
Town. There's a small fishing town called Dingle, Ireland that I've been to. It is beautiful.
Dingleberry?
Just Dingle, no berry.
Oh, okay.
But it's a beautiful fishing town. It's near the cliffs of Mohair. It's great. But if this Alabama team and these ADs and decision makers decide that, hey, we're going to fire Kalen DeBoer, I'm good with it. Okay? I'm not going to complain. It's not my $833K every year. But if every month. If they turn around and hire Tommy Mother Flippin' Reese.
He's the leading candidate?
He is 3-1 odds.
No way.
I am done. I'm hibernating. Like, put me in like a cryogenics and just unthaw me after he gets fired.
Well, explain to me, guys, how a guy who has no head coaching experience and has been average at best as an OC, at best, he is the best on the odds makers.
Unbelievable.
And it
has to be just because he was in Alabama.
Is it his agent?
He must have the world's best agent. Here's the thing about Tommy Reese. Not only was he a terrible offensive coordinator at his time here at Alabama.
Oh, my gosh. He has some goodwill.
But also Mike Vrabel wanted to hire him because they became drinking buddies in Cleveland, wanted to hire him as offensive coordinator for the Patriots and had to be stopped.
man.
They had to say, no, you're hiring Josh McDaniels. And if we know one thing about Mike Vrabel is that he cannot recognize coaching talent. So and the Browns got so scared, they decided to promote him to offensive coordinator. If there's one thing we know about the Browns is that they cannot recognize coaching talent. So I am out on Tommy Rees even before the Mike Vrabel and Cleveland Brown stuff. No way.
What was the offense like when Tommy Rees wasn't he
It
the
was
OC?
bad. It was so bad.
At Alabama already?
Yeah, I mean,
that's
like,
when he must have had some drinking buddies that was in high places.
I'm telling you.
Who were
telling
the quarterbacks in his time as OC? What years was that?
Tommy Rees was 2023, so it was Jalen Milroe. And listen, they did a good job that year coaching around Jalen Milroe. Nick Saban did, but we saw what really Jalen Milroe was without Nick Saban. I'm just saying, like, and that was the year that Jalen Milroe got benched and Ty Simpson came in and he looked like crap without Jalen. Like, I'm just good. Like, I'm just out on Tommy Rees.
There's only one realistic.
I can't believe like Lane Kiffin and people. Man,
that's it, Blaine. That's the only guy.
Now listen, there are some other names on this list that I would entertain.
But he's
as an
number
Alabama
one.
fan. I do like this Glenn Schumann idea. Ooh. So Glenn Schumann is the defensive coordinator for Georgia. So I could be on board with someone from that kind of pedigree. You know, I could be on board with that. Now, you got to remember, he coached at Alabama. So, you know, he started off as he graduated from Alabama as well, but he ended up going as a graduate assistant, following Kirby Smart over there to be their inside linebackers coach. Then he became their co-defensive coordinator and inside linebackers coach from 2019, 2023. And then he became the DC last year.
Oh.
So I am all in on someone with Alabama ties like that has a proven track record, unlike Tommy Rees. I like that name. Do you want to know who has the
another no experience guy? Right?
Fifth best odds?
Fifth best. I mean, I can't believe Lane Kiffin's not even on the list.
He's third.
Oh.
Third best odds.
Kirby Smart.
Nope.
Fifth best.
Deion Sanders.
You got to be lying.
No.
Fifth best odds.
No way.
Yeah.
So look how this is going to go. We're going to hire Deion Sanders, and they couldn't even beat Georgia Tech.
That's what he's fifth best.
That's what they're going to say.
You know, that's
Alabama
fourth best odds, who's actually pretty good.
That's what Alabama fans are going to say.
Kenny Dillingham is fourth best odds. I'm just saying.
Oh, man.
Tommy Rees is a no-go for me.
I think the odds makers was having a few, brewskis.
They must have. Maybe they were having brewskis with Tommy Rees.
Come on, man.
It was the odds makers, Tommy Rees and Mike Vrabel, all having beers together.
Oh, man.
Drinking their Busch Lights.
I don't like half the list.
And Kalen DeBoer had one on the sidelines on Saturday.
Yeah. Yeah, he had like a tranquilizer or something. He was so down on the sidelines.
Now, Kalen DeBoer has a history of winning everywhere he's gone.
Yeah.
So even if he does still win 9 games, Alabama fans still won't be happy.
Well, I don't know. Maybe after how last game went, 9 games would have to have some impressive wins on there at some point. We'll see. All right, this is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 105 The Zone. 3HL's up next. In the meantime.
And in between time.